Robstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome to the Robstar Report. I'm still nasally. I am still in awe of this past Sunday's win. I am still sick. But yeah, we're here. We're rocking and rolling. And I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight on this Victory Monday. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's good? What's good? What's good, Jeff? What's good? Appreciate everyone coming in. Appreciate everyone coming in. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. It's it's a good feeling. That's for sure. We building something here, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that right now. I don't know if y'all know that or not. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but we definitely building something here. Definitely building something here that we can be proud about. That's for sure. Shout out to everybody yesterday coming through on the live stream, man. Shout out to everybody who is here right now. Appreciate you guys. Always coming through, showing your love and support, man. Appreciate you guys. Let's get some shout outs to the people in the chat as people come in. Marcos Cash, what's good, man? Marcos Cash comes in and says, "What up, Panther Nation? Subscribe for the latest news updates, analysts on the Carolina Panthers. And don't forget to show your love and support by pounding that like button on your way in and on your way out. All right. Shout out to Marcos Cash, as always, showing love and support to the channel. What a great win. Keep pounding, old school Panthers fan. Jeff, what's good? Who else we got here? Cornbread says, smash that like button. Yep. Cornbread says, keep. Y'all know what to do next. We in the building. What's good, Underground West? Marcos Cash is with the program. He knows what's going on. I think Bryce just won the Hemi Award on Monday night. But I think Bryce just won the Hemi Award for this week. Yeah, for this week. Crazy. BY9 equals GOAT. Amazing K was good. Exciting season. Absolutely. What's up, Clay? What's up, Panthers boy Nate? Bryce is the youngest player to reach 11 game winning drives. Yep, absolutely. Bees knees, what's good? Just vibing with that. Keep pounding. Amazing K. I can now safely say we are a quarterback away. I can now safely say, quote unquote, we are a quarterback away from a Super Bowl. It's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that. I tell you what, man. This Carolina Panthers team, I tell you what, you don't know what you're going to get, man. You just don't. Week in and week out, you can't tell me. Nobody and their mama, their cousin, their third cousin picked the Carolina Panthers to win this game. Let's just be honest. Let's just call it what it is. Let's just be honest. Nobody picked the Panthers to win this game. All right. I didn't even get a chance to give y'all a preview and a prediction because, of course, I was out of town being with family. And that's exactly what it is. The cardiac cats, man. You just don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get the J.J. McCarthy Bryce Young or if you're going to get the Tom Brady Bryce Young. You don't know if this defense is going to cause 3 turnovers or it's going to get cooked for 240 yards on the ground. You don't know what you're going to get. I can tell you this. Evero earned a lot of respect for me after this game. No Tre'von Moehrig. No J.C. Horn. No Christian Roseboom. No Claudin Churlis. Who else am I missing? There's another person I'm missing on that defense, am I not? No Corey Thornton. Who else am I missing? Am I missing anybody else on that? I don't think so. I think everybody else is good. Because you had Trevin Wallace back, you had Chris Barnes back. But if this is the team we're getting going forward, I can't. How can I sit here and say that this team is not a playoff contender? I'm not going to go to the point of saying it's a Super Bowl contender, but I'm going to go to the point that this is a team that is a playoff contender and probably could at least win one playoff game if they get into the playoffs. I truly believe that. This is a team that can beat anybody on any given Sunday. This is a team. That's what the type of team this is. We were double-digit underdogs in this game, man. I saw that in Mason K. I tweeted on that, by the way. I tweeted out saying that Dan Morgan's an absolute dog. You traded that man for a 4th and a 5th round pick. And they released him. Now, according to my updates, though, he's still on the roster. I think Thielen's going to be taking a different role there in Minnesota. He's just not going to be playing. I'm assuming he's going to be like a mentor / coaching staff type of guy. I don't know. Maybe somebody from afar. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be, but again, I don't know the full details on what he's going to be next. Sorry. I had to fix something. But again, you just don't know what you're going to get. Tab Black 43 with that $10 dono. Shout out to her in the chat, everyone. W's in the chat for Miss Tab Black. I think we need to spam number 4. How about we just spam TB43 for her? That's what we're going to do. We're going to spam TB43 for her. Everybody spam the chat after that $10 donation. I really appreciate that. It goes a long way. Just that little bit of $10 goes straight back to the channel. Okay. TB43 in the chat. Let's flood it up for. Appreciate you. Tab Black 43. I really appreciate that $10 donation. It goes a long way. And I tell you, it's like my live streams are like the Carolina Panthers. You just don't know what you're going to get. Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. All right. So, but appreciate Tab Black 43 for that $10 donation. Shout out to her for that. Shout out to her. What's up, Trizzy? What's up, Trizzy? What's good? What is good? Anyways, let's dive into this, man, because again, this team didn't just win a football game, man. They flipped the damn script on their whole season. Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. All right, sorry, chat. Had to fix some stuff. Sorry about that. I was burning up in that dang hoodie. Burning up. The wife's got the heat on. She got the heat on. She's trying to fry your boy up in here. Try to fry me up. All right, let's dive into it, man. Sorry about it. Not for the shenanigans. Y'all aren't here for all that craziness. If you can't tell, the background is closer. I am on this wall here in my office. I am mounting a TV so once it's mounted, I'll move it back and you'll be able to see the background better. All right. Let's pull it on up here, chat. All right. Let's go to the box score, of course, as always. That's where we want to start, anyways. That's where we want to start, anyways. So, yeah, I got the shades on. We got to, hey, when we win games, we got to wear the shades, man. Got to keep the haters out. We already got Seahawks fans already talking a lot of smoke already. We already got some Seahawks fans already talking a lot of smoke because we beat the Rams. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But again, let's get back to business here. So the Panthers didn't just win a football game on Sunday, chat. They totally flipped the script. They did. They totally flipped the script in this game. 1 week, it's like that Monday night game we face planted on national TV against 49ers. And a lot of people could say that was probably Bryce's worst game of the season. Right? I don't know. Maybe some people may disagree with that. Maybe they might say another game. Right? This is a team that just is like, it's just like the saying off of The Sopranos. If you ever watched The Sopranos show, great show, one of the greatest shows of all time. If you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it. But it's the part where he's like, when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Right? And that's what I felt like. I felt like that multiple times. I felt like this team is out, and somehow they continue to pull me back in and surprise me. And again, this is the perfect example of what I've said with this team all season long with you guys, is that this is the perfect example of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde team. And we walked into this, and in my opinion, the Los Angeles Rams in this game, okay, to be honest with you, the Los Angeles Rams were the best team in the NFL, in my opinion, coming into this game. There was nobody few, far, and in between. I thought the Rams were the best team in the NFL coming into this game. Really did. I still think they are. I think that we just were the better team on Sunday. Because here's the thing. We matched up best team in the NFL, the 9-2 Los Angeles Rams, who I thought were Super Bowl contenders, still are, in my opinion. Just because they lost one game to us is not saying a bad thing. They lost to a good football team. We just punched them right square in the mouth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't fluke. It wasn't a fluke. It was an organized, pissed off response from a team that had every reason to fold, and it didn't. Okay? This team didn't fold, chat. This team didn't fold. Edgar Way, what's with the glasses? I felt like wearing them because it's Victory Monday. You don't see me asking what's with your profile picture. Now I'm saying? But we stunned this team 31-28. And now we hit a huge stride. We go into the bye week, 7-6. You leave Stoke out of this, young man. I'm just messing with you. Hit the bye week at 7-6, and you're right in the NFC playoff picture, man. That just happened, if you think about it, chat. Just happened. So let's break this all down: the good, the bad, the ugly, the absolute electrifying, my takeaways, my thoughts. I got to start with Bryce Young in this game. Actually, I think I'm going to use a different image for Bryce in this game. I think I got a better one for you guys. Instead of using this, I'll go back and use some other ones. I got a bunch of different I got a bunch of different images that I could use for this game. Let me see here. Actually, let's use this. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Charlotte Vibe for this next gen stats. We'll use this image instead. So as I do my basically my breakdown on Bryce Young in this game, because I tell you what, chat, if there was ever a week, chat, where Bryce Young needed to show something, anything, okay, it was this one. He spent the last 6 days getting roasted by the national media after that absolute disaster of performance on Monday night. Right? A lot of questioning going on again about Bryce Young. Everybody nitpicking by every talking head with a microphone, even myself, because I'm very critical. I'm very critical. Okay? Because I want the best for the team. I want the best for Bryce Young. I want if Bryce Young is what's best for this team, chat, then that's what we're going to go with. That's what I'm going to rock. Okay? I'm going to support him, but I'm also going to criticize his bullshit. I'm going to support him, but I will always criticize his bullshit. Okay? I'm always going to give him his flowers when it's good, but I'm also going to always harp on him when it's bad. Okay? That's just being a real fan, in my opinion. All right? All right? Because that meltdown on Monday night before going into this Rams game, Monday Night Football, okay, against the Rams, or Monday Night Football against the 49ers was ugly enough. And it was ugly enough to have that question again and have that conversation of, is he the guy? And then, of course, the debates start firing up, full volume. Y'all were going off in the chat about it too. Tab Black, thank you so much for becoming a member. Tab Black is definitely leading the leaderboard and showing support to the channel tonight. She's already donated $10 and became a member. She's definitely the leader. I wonder if anyone could take her spot. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Tab Black, ladies and gentlemen. The real Sunchild, what's good? Earl Locklear, what's good? Joust 182, what's good? I think I missed Steve-O. Steve-O in the chat. Steve-O, what's good? Shout out to you. I was a member, but I guess it was a present. Oh, yeah. Some people do that. Some people give memberships to the channel. So welcome to the family. TB Black 43, Tab Black 43, TB 43. Anyways, so back to my little rant. All right, I'm on my rant about Bryce Young. We might be here for a hot minute. But the schedule, so you have that disaster against the 49ers, okay? Debates fired up real quick. Then the schedule gets handed to him. You got to go up against this 9-2 Los Angeles Rams, which nobody but somebody in China knew, but maybe knew about this game. I don't know. But somebody knew that they were going to upset them. I had a feeling they were going to upset them because I said one of those 4 games, like the Bills, the Green Bay Packers, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Rams. I said if Carolina can win 2 out of those 4 games, which they've done. Shout out to the balloons, by the way. I forgot about the peace sign. Which they've done. They beat Green Bay and they beat the Rams. They beat 2 number 1 seeds in the month of November, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to even show you that. Let's see if I can find it real quick. There's an image of that real quick. And I hope I can find it. Don't know if I can, but there is an image by Fox Sports that Carolina has beaten 2 number 1 seeds in the month of November. And I want to see if it's on here. Pretty sure it was by Fox Sports. Might have to go all the way down here. It's crazy. I can't find it. Damn it. It was a great image, by the way. Let's see here. Let me get back to my next gen stats then. Appreciate Charlotte Vibe for posting this on Twitter. Yes, Steve-O, I know. They think they picked up Adam Thielen. He got released. No, Steve-O, they did not pick him up. First off, technically, even though the Vikings released him, he's still part of the Vikings organization. He is going to play a bigger role there in Minnesota. They are not picking up Adam Thielen. And if it is, someone is starting a rumor. Shout out to Steve-O with the $1.99. But again, Carolina has beaten. Again, you can go look it up yourself. There's an image out there. I got to find it. They have beaten the two number 1 seeds this season, the Rams and the Green Bay Packers. And I said, I picked the 49ers. I picked us to beat the 49ers because I thought that was going to be an easier matchup than the Rams. But instead, they go out and beat the hardest team probably on their schedule of all season. And they beat the Rams. Don't forget about that like button, Panther Nation. Absolutely. Are we pretenders or potential contenders? I think we are. Here's what I think about that, Machado. I think we are pretenders this year. What I mean by that is I'm not saying that we can't go to the playoffs, win a playoff game, all of that. Not saying that. I do think that this team is a playoff contender. I think that this is a team that can win a playoff game. What I am saying is, okay, what I am saying is, I think we are not contenders yet. Possibly next year. You can make the case of possibly next year that we are contenders. Can you pull up Bryce Young's season stats? We'll look at that in a minute. Facts, Clay. The only team that beat the Packers and the Rams in the same season, that is the Eagles. Right. We are jokers. How are we jokers? Funny, we may need the Atlanta Falcons to get into the playoffs by beating Tampa Bay. It is funny to say that, Amazing K. Facts. We're going to be loaded after another draft. Exactly. Absolutely, Steve. I appreciate Steve out with that $1.99 donation. So, anyways, let me get back to my Bryce Young rant. I want to say this. First things first about Bryce Young in this game, chat. His pocket navigation in this game was absolutely elite. If you watch Bryce Young closely, okay, you know he's at his best when he's not planted like a statue in a pocket. Okay? We know that. We know he's at his best when he is not planted like a statue in the pocket. He's better when he's off platform. I know that sounds he's off platform, but what I mean by that is he kind of gets himself into another platform, the way he's able to use his legs. Right? Carolina, see, what we understood, this coaching staff, what they finally understood in this game is that for once, And I understood that. And for once, they built an opening script around movement, misdirection, letting Bryce Young manipulate space, chat. Okay? Against the Rams, they have a nasty front. Sitting. Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, Byron Young. They got some dogs on that defense. Okay? Sitting would have been a death sentence for him. Instead, Bryce Young used his pocket slides, creative rollouts, controlled scrambles, off-script improvisation. He turned chaos into the opportunity, and his ankles, which had been a concern, of course, with the ankle injury, but didn't seem to bother him, right? This is the version of Bryce Young Carolina needs consistently. This is all I need from Bryce. I don't even need 3 touchdowns. You could actually take a touchdown off that board. If he can give me that 206, which is basically 210 yards, let's round it up. 210 and a touchdown. You're playing as an average quarterback in the NFL. But the extra touchdown I'll also take, right? We know it's in there. We've seen the potential. We've seen the flashes. It's just always been Bryce consistency, right? He just got to play smart. He's got to play mobile. He's got to continue to play be unpredictable as long as Dave Canales lets him to be. Let him dictate the rhythm of the game. It kept the Rams honest the whole game. And then it opened up the playbook for us. That was the first thing I took away from this game from Bryce Young's performance. Now, Young's first half was exactly what he needed. When you go look at the first half, I'll tell you the first half stats real quick. So his first half stats were 63.6% completion. He had 81 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 turnovers, 27 yards rushing, and he had 116.1 ESPN passer rating. So was it flashy? No. No, it wasn't. Was it smart, composed, calm? Absolutely, chat. It was. Absolutely. So with us leaning heavily on the run game, Young played point guard. It's funny how when you're able to run the ball, have a split backfield, which I was against and I was wrong in that circumstance, but Chuba Hubbard is healthy, and Chuba Hubbard looks like he regained that RB1 position. We'll dive more into that. And we'll dive into Dave Canales taking that gamble. He took the defense. He took what the defense gave him in this game, chat. He took what the defense gave him. He didn't create unnecessary choice or chaos. He let Mike Jackson's pick six change the flow of the game. It wasn't explosive, but it was responsible. And that's exactly what we need to get their footing. Right? Bryce Young to Jalen Coker was the next big thing I took away from this game. Bryce Young and Jalen Coker might be a real thing. Tre'von McMillan drew most of the defensive attention, which we know that is going to be the case. That is going to be the situation going forward. That's how it's always going to be. Tre'von McMillan is going to be wide receiver 1. He's going to take a lot of attention on him. Okay? The rest of that opens up the rest of the wide receiver room. And this wide receiver room has been up and down all season long. But then in this game, we finally saw the official launch of Bryce Young and the Jalen Coker connection. And Coker was supposed to break out before that whole preseason injury wrecked his momentum. Young never lost trust in him. I think it just took some time, and I think Jalen Coker was still not fully healthy when they brought him back, in my opinion. So that faith, though, paid off. You know what I mean? So, Coker's final line in this game, he had 4 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Then you got to talk about the game-clinching third down catch late in the fourth quarter. I mean, my God, for Jalen Coker. Okay? Right? With, the Rams were throwing bodies after bodies after bodies. Right? At McMillan all game, shutting it down. And Coker became that go-to guy for Bryce Young in this game. And that connection has been inconsistent all year, but Sunday looked like a legitimate turning point. And I think we'll see that going forward. Okay? I think we'll see that going forward. So 1 touchdown in this game. All right. Next thing. Hold on. Let me get to the super chat real quick as I get back into my rant. Steve-0704 says, we aren't even fully healthy on offense or defense. We got depth. We're winning games. With depth is a good football team. Bryce, when he plays free. Shout out to Steve-O. Steve-O, you are absolutely right. Once we get fully healthy, this team is going to be absolutely dangerous. There's a chance that Robert Hunt could come back after the bye week. So you get your starting right guard back. Cade Mays could be back. You get your starting center back. Your offensive line is fully healthy. Right? You get guys back. You can get some defensive guys back. Right? Probably besides Corey Thornton. That's the only guy I don't see coming back this season on the defensive side of things. But you're gonna get a whole bunch of people back after the bye week. And this team's going to be even more dangerous and fully healthy. And fully healthy. Appreciate you, Marcos, for taking that out. Appreciate you, Marcos. Thank you for handling that. Dave Canales. My next thing I took away from this performance in Bryce Young as well was Dave Canales finally leaned into Bryce Young's strengths in this game. Because after last week's train wreck, like I said, where Canales essentially abandoned the run and left Young to be exposed. And we completely revamped that approach, right? The run heavy game plan, clear commitment to balance, more movement. We saw a lot more movement on the offense. You saw a lot more early rhythm throws. Got Bryce really comfortable, right? That's what you did. That's what they did. Selective deep shots. We still saw some more explosive plays in this game, but it was very selective. They're very cautious with it, trying to play smart against a good defense, a very good Rams team. I get it. We want to see more of that, of course, but less overthinking, and there was more flow. You know what I mean? So Canales didn't ask Bryce to be an absolute superhero. What he did was he asked Bryce to just be efficient, be poised, right? High IQ operator. He's always been projected to be. Carolina ran the ball 35 times and threw it 20 times. But look how efficient he was. 5 incomplete passes, 0 turnovers. And then a plus 8.2 percentage. CPDE, which I'm not sure what that means. If anybody knows what that CPDE means, I would greatly appreciate that on that chart there. Shout out to Steve-O with that $4.99 donation, though.
another one.
Oh, we got another one. Jadarius with that $4.99 donation. Shout out. Shout out with that $4.99 super sticker. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you, my guy. Oh, that's not the one I wanted.
You like that?
I do like that. There you go, Jadarius. That's what I was looking for. My Panthers growl. I got to fix my soundboard. I got to organize my soundboard. All right. And then my last thing I took away from Bryce Young's performance was the way he bounced back. The way he bounced back into this game, to me, was so real, was so just so important to me. This was one of the biggest prove it moments for Bryce Young's career. Again, everybody was loud, man. The pressure was heavy. The Rams defense is legit. Okay. The weather was miserable. Okay. Everything was set up for another meltdown. Instead, Young delivered the most efficient game of his NFL career. Again, this is the most efficient game of his NFL career, if we're being honest. 15 of 20 passing, 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. I know that Atlanta game was great, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be honest with you. I think this game was better. I know that Atlanta game was great, 448 yards. I get it. But his highest passer rating, finished the game with his highest passer rating of his career, 147.1 passer rating. 0 turnovers. Highest percentage of passing all season too. Exactly. Miss Tab Black. Absolutely. But here's the thing, the reason why, and again, he did that against a top 5 defense in Atlanta. But the thing is just how efficient he was in this game. But again, he did it again against a top 5 defense in the pouring rain. Let's add some context to that shit. He just didn't steady the ship. He beat the number 1 team in the NFC by going throw for throw with Matthew Stafford. This is why I'm giving him his flowers. I'm giving the guy his flowers. People want to call me a fake fan. I tell you what. And he did it in crunch time. And that final 4th down dart to Jalen Coker, that's the throw of a confident quarterback, chat. Not somebody who's broken. And again, he's making me eat some crow, man. And I'm glad he's making me eat some crow because I want him to be successful. It's never that I've never wanted Bryce to be successful. It's just that I have a standard and we all should have standards. We want consistency at the end of the day. That's all we want. It's okay to criticize your team, chat. We can't be all sunshine and rainbows here. We got to be real fans. We got to want what's best for the team. And again, like I said, if Bryce Young's best for the team, then I'm rocking with Bryce Young. He's my quarterback. I'm still going to rock with him. I just asked for I just have a certain standard. If Carolina had to make the call today to pick up Bryce Young's 5th-year option, if Carolina had to make the call today, picking up Young's 5th-year option would be a no-brainer. Now comes the real question, though. Can he stack these types of performances? It hasn't been done consistently yet. But Sunday felt like the closest thing we've seen to a breakthrough, in my opinion. Shout out to Jadarius for becoming a member once again to the channel. Appreciate you, my guy.
And his name is John C.
Shout out to the greatest of all time, John Cena. Nah, he's not my GOAT. Hey, if anybody's in here that is a wrestling fan, John Cena is not the GOAT of wrestling, by the way. To me, it's still Stone Cold Steve Austin. But my GOAT in my generation of GOATs of wrestling, it's Randy Orton. Always been a big Randy Orton fan. Always will be. He's my guy. And if anybody's a WWE fan, that's just me. Still feeling good, Clay? I'm physically, no, because I'm sick. But am I feeling good about this win? Absolutely, Broski Bear. Who wouldn't be? We just beat the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. They're still the best. Just because we beat them doesn't mean that they're not. I still think that they are a Super Bowl contender. Ric Flair is always going to be one of my goats too. See, my Mount Rushmore, if I had like my top four wrestlers of all time, it'd probably go Stone Cold. Probably would go Undertaker. And I'm just going based off of what I saw, right? Love me some Ric Flair. Always will. And then I'm going to Randy Orton. Randy Orton's my favorite of all time. Randy's my favorite of all time, but that's my Mount Rushmore. That's just me, though. That's just me. It's just me. I was always a big Taker fan, always a Stone Cold fan, always a Ric Flair fan. All right. You know what I mean?
Woo! Woo!
You know what I mean? Just saying. But again, bottom line for Bryce chat, I'm going to finish this off with this. He didn't just bounce back. He punched back. He punched back hard. He answered the critics. He stabilized this offense. He played clean. He played smart, confident football against an elite football team, in my opinion. He helped deliver one of the biggest Panthers wins of the year in years. And again, he's beaten 2 number 1 seeded NFC teams in the month of November. Again, if he builds on this, he can go from a nice story type of guy to a legitimate postseason threat. Okay? All right. And, all right, at least this team. But Bryce Young can turn from a nice story type of guy, number 1 draft pick, to really being the guy here, right? Again, if we're just going based off this performance today, and Carolina was going to pick up his 5th-year option, okay, I would say absolutely, okay? It would be a no-brainer if we had to make the call today, they would pick up his 5th-year option. The real question, though, again, and I want to make this clear to you guys that are listening, the real question is, can he stack these types of performances? Again, he hasn't done it consistently yet. But this game felt like the closest thing we've seen to a breakthrough. All right. That's all I'm going to say. Not saying I'm in. I'm not saying I'm on the Bryce train. But I'm giving him his flowers. And he's proven me wrong. And again, I'll keep eating this humble crow pie. I'll keep eating it until I don't have to eat it anymore, and I can say, okay, he's the guy. But keep proving me wrong, Bryce. Keep doing it. I want you to prove me wrong. All right? If yours what's best for this organization, this team to win, okay, great. I still rock with Bryce. Still gonna be critical of him though. But I'm gonna give him his flowers when he has good performances. I think it's just fair. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Great show tonight. Y'all have been absolutely awesome. Y'all are slacking on the like button as always, though. Absolutely slacking on that like button. Just absolutely slacking. Killing it. Y'all killed it yesterday on Sunday. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. First off, that joined the live stream on Sunday. Over 10,000 views and over 250 plus likes. I think we're at like 267. So I just want to give a huge shout out to all you guys. Really just coming in and showing your support on Sunday for that, because I think that might have been like a record breaking for me, to be honest with you. So give yourself a round of applause. So shout out to you guys. All right. Shout out to you guys. I understand that. I just appreciate you coming by. Just remember, we beat Green Bay, and the next game we lose to the Saints. We beat the Rams. Now our next game is the Saints on the road. We can't let lightning strike twice. Absolutely, Trizzy. Absolutely. All right, let's get back into this game, though. I talked about Bryce. Let's get back into this game. All right. I want to give some more takeaways of this game. I talked about Jalen Coker. This is what I want to talk about. Really, mainly Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. If you're looking at this from a run game standpoint, so look at this Carolina rushing. Look at Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. All right. We're looking at the stats right now of that. The reason why we're looking at that is because, first off, I'm going to give Chuba his flowers. The return of Chuba Hubbard. Finally, we got back to the run game. Chuba Hubbard looked like Chuba Hubbard of last year. Explosive balance, very decisive in his runs, right? He ripped off a gorgeous 35-yard screen, touchdown, and consistently just punished this Rams in the second half. Rico didn't have his best day, but together, Rico, Dowdle, and Chuba Hubbard, 141 rushing yards together. 18 carries for Rico, 17 carries for Hubbard. And I'll say this. For the first time in a while, Carolina's rushing attack actually looked like something defenses had to respect. And with Bryce playing confident, the offense actually felt balanced. Now, I got to give Bryce Young or Dave Canales his flowers. Dave Canales stuck with the wild game. Okay? Or not the wild game. He stuck with the wild gamble that nobody thought would work, and it paid off big time. What I mean by that is Dave Canales spent the entire week, and I don't remember if it was me cooking him, but I remember a lot of other fans cooking him, saying like, okay, and he was getting blasted by analysts too, right? And a lot of people were side-eyeing half the NFL world after that embarrassing meltdown on that Monday night game. But again, we look like a completely different football team in this game, right? But what happened in this game with this, what he did in the run game was what's the most intriguing to me, right? The 1-2 punch that and I was one of those people. I didn't believe in the 1-2 punch, but it finally showed up in this game, right? The entire league assumed that the Panthers' backfield would be a mess. Rico Dowdle won the RB1 job, right? Earlier in the year. Then Chuba spent half the season looking like a ghost of the 2023 self. And every time Canal said he believed in Hubbard, we were rolling our eyes. Like, Yeah, okay, coach. Well, Chuba Hubbard heard everybody's talking and he responded. Again, 18 carries for Daddle. Chuba Hubbard, 17 carries, 141 yards. Between the both of them, 62 receiving yards plus a touchdown. That is more than just complimentary football, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That's a full-blown, legit thunder and lightning backfill doing exactly what the Panthers built this offense around. This is precisely the version, okay? This is precisely the version Carolina had in mind when they signed Rico Dowdle in free agency to have that one-two punch, where one guy wears down defense and the other one cuts it open. Okay? It just took until December to actually materialize. And honestly, I think Canales never flinched, never turned on Chuba Hubbard. Some of y'all were turning on him. I didn't say anything about turning on him. I just wanted to ride with the hot hand. Okay. I just felt like Rico Daddle's the hot hand. You got to stick with it. And they did. Okay. Now it's kind of flaming out. Chuba Hubbard's now coming in. He's the hot hand. He might have taken the RB1 position back, in my opinion. But I don't think so. I think it's going to what I've been saying is what I've been asking for. Is you have a RB1A and an RB1B. Y'all remember me talking about this? I don't know if y'all remember me talking about this a while back. I've always said Rico Dowdle should be RB1A and Chuba Hubbard should have been RB1B. Okay? Because what I said is that, and I remember this cold-heartedly talking to you guys about this. And I said, Eric remembers. What up, Poppin'? Appreciate you joining the live stream, brother. Hope all is well. God bless you, my friend. Eric Blair comes to the chat and says, I do. So I see, I knew someone is listening. So you guys do listen to me when I do speak. I appreciate that. See, here's the thing. Make Rico Dowdle if you want, or you can flip-flop it. However you want to do it. But either way, you need to have an RB1A and an RB1B. And this is how you need to do it. And the way they did it in this game is how I've been asking them and Dave Canales to do it, which is, except I think Chuba Hubbard was the RB1A, where he was the tempo setter in this game. I felt like Chuba Hubbard was the tempo setter in this game. Dowdle has earned the right to open games, right? But now I think it's Chuba Hubbard. See, Chuba Hubbard has now earned the right to open up games. Let him take the first series now. Let him establish the physicality. Let him get the defense reacting early. Because the way he ran against this team was more of a bruising style against the Rams. Well, he wore down that defensive line. And it set up Canales' play action and motion concepts perfectly. We saw that in this game. Think of him as the hammer, all right, that starts every offensive drive with intent. Then your RB1B, guess what? Is Rico Dowdle now. And you can flip-flop it if Rico Dowdle becomes the hot hand again. But, again, now you've got Rico as the RB1B. Once the defenses are gassed, that's when you use Rico Dowdle. That's when Dowdle can probably become more deadly. I think Dowdle is still dealing with some injuries. I think he is not fully healthy. I really don't. I think he's been, because he was such a workhorse for a long time, for like how many games straight, right? But his style, I mean, he's got a bruising style as well as Chuba Hubbard. They're kind of very similar backs. It's kind of really hard to tell who's the bruiser who's the more explosive, really. But I think Rico's the more. I think, if we're being honest, I think Rico's more explosive. But that's just me. I haven't seen Chuba Hubbard take off like Rico Dowdle has. You know what I'm saying? Right? But use Rico, rotate him in for some stretches, let him exploit the tired front seven, let him use him in the hurry up packages where his acceleration can create chunk plays, right? He's also the better third down back probably right now. We saw him more on third down, I felt like, than Chuba. That was just my opinion. I think, and maybe it was a split, but, more trustworthy in protection. I don't know who's more trustworthy in protection between Rico and Chuba. I'd probably say they're about the same. But a better receiver in space, well, you could say Chuba's that after what we saw with that 35-yard touchdown. But we've also seen Rico have those types of plays as well. So, again, you're getting the best of both worlds. You just got to ride with the hot hand. And, again, I just think, for right now, Chuba Hubbard seems to be the hot hand again. Not saying that Rico Dowdle can't come back and be the hot hand, but you just need to have that style right there. And what the balance we saw in that. You had the tempo setter. You got the guy who's the closer and change of pace back. However they want to maneuver that is up to them. But I just think, me personally, right now, Chuba's your RB1A. Rico Dowdle's your RB1B. Andrea, I just think he's a health scratch, and I just think he's just not fully up to back to game speed. I mean, he took almost a year and a half off, almost 2 years, basically. That sickness took so much out of him. I don't know how long he didn't even get to practice or anything from the sickness. You know what I mean? So it's tough to say. But apparently he's like a health scratch every single week. He seems to be back to healthy. Yep. We did the same thing with Stephen Davis and Sean Foster 2004. Exactly. Again, you can say that. You can say the same way they did Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams. Stephen Davis, Deshaun Foster. Same thing. Absolutely. I still wish Rico would show out like he did in Dallas and Green Bay game. I think it's coming. I just think he needs some rest. And I think this bye week this bye week couldn't come at a better time. And we couldn't have gotten a win like this at a better time. The timing was perfect. Right? The timing was perfect. All right. All right, let's scroll up. Let's get to this defense real quick. Let's talk about this Carolina Panthers defense, man. This defense was held together by duct tape for this game and still made plays. Still made plays. I want to be clear with something you guys, chat. This defense wasn't great, but at times they weren't even good. They gave up 21 points in that first half, right? They couldn't get pressure on Stafford consistently. They had no answer for Devontae Adams. You lost J.C. Horn in this game. Tre'von Moehrig out due to a suspension, right? You entered, with half of your linebacker room missing. And when I say but, this is why they won, though. They made game-changing plays when it mattered most. They made game-changing plays when it mattered most. Derrick Brown had a batted ball that turned into an interception. Derrick Brown ripped a strip sack late in the fourth quarter, sealed the deal. Mike Jack housed a 48-yard pick six. DJ Wanu jumped on that fumble from the strip sack of Derrick Brown. These aren't fluky turnovers that are just happening, ladies and gentlemen. They were big boy plays by the defense. Lathan Ransom was laying the absolute lumber. Like, Lathan Ransom in that game, it's like he wants to hit you to kill you. He wants to hit you to hurt you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But the problem is with Lathan Ransom, chat, and I'm just going to be honest with you, chat, and I tweeted it out during the game. Okay? I tweeted it out during the game. And I said, what did I say? I got to find the tweet. I can't remember the tweet I said about him. Hold on, let me find it. There's one thing I gotta harp Taylor Moton on. Or not Taylor Moton, Lathan Ransom on. Oh, here's my tweet. And I'm glad y'all said Ransom. But here's my tweet. I'm gonna share it real quick. Here's my only thing about Ransom. Ransom swings for the knockout every time when he hits, it's violent, but it also leads to moments like that where he takes himself out of the play, which he does. So there's that fine line between being the enforcer and then being also over aggressive. That's where it gets him in trouble. That's where it gets him in trouble because sometimes he can be over aggressive. All right, but love what I'm seeing from the rookie. Again, this is a rookie, okay? All right. All right. But again, you know, we've got guys stepping up and making plays, right? That's the biggest thing. This team had guys stepping up when it mattered most. And that's all that matters. This team had guys stepping up when it mattered most, and they did. I mean, Nick Scott got cooked a couple times, but then had a great sense of awareness, gets the interception right. Got to give him credit there. Got to give him. On that Jaquan Brisker. So here's the question, chat. Got to ask you. And I'm interested to know. And y'all can put your comments in the chat. I'd love to hear it. And I'll post them up on the screen. Here it comes. Q&A real quick. I'll go ahead and post the Q&A. Actually, I'll go ahead and post the Q&A. Here's a quick question. I'm going to go ahead and post it. Here's your Q&A question, chat. Are the Panthers officially playoff contenders? All right. Y'all can go ahead and start sounding off in the comments. But what I'm going to say is this. Okay? This is the part nobody saw coming. This team now has signature wins over the Rams, the Packers, and the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys win is a signature win. Did we not just see what they did against the Kansas City Chiefs? The Rams, number 1 seed in the NFC. Packers, at the time, were the number 1 seed in the NFC. These aren't bottom feeders. These are playoff teams. Super Bowl level teams, Super Bowl contenders. The Packers were considered a Super Bowl contender when they got Micah Parsons. The Rams were considered Super Bowl contenders when Matthew Stafford looked like the best quarterback in the league with a top 5 defense. They also have a top 10, top 5 wide receiver duo in Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. You beat them. Here's the thing. The Panthers hit their bye week at 7-6 at the best time. Not only to get healthy. Now remember, guys, playoff contenders just means you can making the playoffs. Does not mean that we're talking about Super Bowl contenders. Get these fucking people out of my chat. Any mods see those NFL ads, robot bullshit? Anybody who's a moderator in my chat, get them the fuck out. Holy shit. I can't stand them. Probably some Indian dude just trying to fucking scam people. Anyways. The Panthers, again, you're 7-6 at the bye week. You're getting fully healthy. You got the Saints coming off the bye, right? You're just a half game behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 2 matchups remaining against the Buccaneers. You got them in week 16 and week 18. You win those, you're likely in the playoffs. You've already got the Seahawks talking shit to you. Have y'all not seen that out there? I'm going to show y'all this tweet. You got the Seahawks already talking shit. I'm going to show you this tweet. We got Saints. We got these Seahawk fans. I guess they're going to want this smoke too. Which I already said, don't worry, we got extra smoke for y'all too. Line it up. And it says the difference here is the Seahawks played a bad team and took care of business, while the Rams, on the other hand. So, I mean, is he saying that the Panthers are a bad team? I think so. Well, I'm getting it. But hey, he can come get this belt to ass too. Sam Darnold can start seeing ghosts once again when he comes play this secondary. You think picking off Brock Purdy 3 times, picking off Stafford twice, you don't think we can't pick off Sam Darnold? We know Sam Darnold very well here in Carolina as well. But it's right there for you. Good. Sam Darnold sure as hell didn't look good against that game against this weekend. That defense carried Sam Darnold. So if these Seahawk fans want that belt to ass, they can come and get it. It's right there for you. But they're already talking smack on X, man. I had to let them know. Again, this team is going into December possibly fully healthy. This team isn't any joke, man. This team is a no-joke team, in my opinion. I think this team is no joke. I think we cannot be taken lightly anymore, chat. Again, this team can beat anybody any given Sunday. I know we are the perfect example of Dr. J, Mr. High, but I'm coming to the realization now. With 4 games left on the schedule, it took to December to realize that this team can beat anybody. It's really any given Sunday in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's any given Sunday with the Carolina Panthers. You know what I mean? There are still flaws with this team. There are still holes. There are still coaching moments that make you want to drink battery acid sometimes. I ain't going to lie to you. There's times. There is times where they're like that. Dave Canales, you got to be better with time management. I'm sorry. I'm still pissed off about that. But there is times with coaching moments that make you want to drink battery acid. By the way, don't do that, but just saying. But this is no longer a cute story, guys. Like, we are building something for the future here. I truly believe that in this situation. This team is winning games they're not supposed to win, which they've done it 3 times now, technically. This team is punching teams in the mouth. They're showing that this team is dangerous. And after knocking off the best team in football, the league should probably start paying attention. You know, playoff push is very, very real here for this Carolina Panthers team, in my opinion. In my opinion. I mean, you got to think about it too, chat. Think about it this way. Think about it this way. Let's look at the guys on this team that are making plays. Derrick Brown, the tone setter. He's the game wrecker. You know, look what he's doing. Look what he's been able to do here. The cardiac cats are back. Absolutely popping. They are the cardiac cats. Because every game is close, man. It's like, you ain't winning no game 40-9. You ain't going to be the Buffalo Bills and win a game 49. You're winning this game 31-28, 27-24, 1-score game, 3-score game. That is about as close as you're going to get for Carolina. It's either that or they get blown out. There's no in-between. There hasn't been an in-between win. We've won every game. I think the 7 games we won, we've won every game by a single digit. Oh, no. The Atlanta Falcons game, we did win 30-0. We won 30-0. That was the only game. Every other game, we've won by a single digit. And then we've had like 2 comebacks in that, which is wild to think about. It's just wild. But I mean, again, man, got so much. I got a lot of hope. I just hope that it doesn't get ripped from me. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Again, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. All right. We get the Saints on my birthday. Well, happy early birthday to you, Joust, and I'll have to remember that or remind me when we do the live stream for that game. Happy early birthday. Nice. Can't wait to troll Berto Lucci. Yes. By the way, chat, don't forget, tomorrow night, NFC South Roundtable. All right. I'll be there representing as I always do, besides this past week. I will be there. Again, make sure you go over to Roundtable Sports, you subscribe, then you hop on over to the NFC South Roundtable. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. And here is a quick ad for you guys to go check out the NFC South Roundtable and Roundtable Sports.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans.
So again, I know that ad said 7 p.m. EST. I'm going to need to get another ad from them. I'm going to have to talk to somebody. I had to slap somebody in the mouth. I need another ad. Anyways, 8 p.m. EST, not 7 p.m. 8 p.m. EST. Go over there to the NFC South Roundtable. Go check it out, okay? They also need to fix my subscriber thing on there, by the way. We are at, by the way, 6,759 subscribers, guys. We're almost to 7K, man. We're almost to 7K. Do you think, you know what would be sick? If we can get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this season, I'd shit my pants. I would actually absolutely shit my pants if that happens. So we're almost to 7,000 though. I'd love to get to 10,000 before the season ends. But yeah, absolutely. Again, appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Enough of shenanigans. I'm gonna hop off of here. I love you guys. I do. I truly love all you guys who come here and show me love and support. Appreciate you guys as always. Make sure, again, you pound that like button. All right. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. And of course, as always, guys, y'all know what to do. I will see y'all tomorrow night on the NFC South Roundtable, 8 p.m. EST over there, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. And y'all be blessed, be safe, and y'all know what to do. Keep pounding, bitch. Peace.